Well, let's talk quickly about Cousins because we really haven't all morning long. And I mean, the winless thing on Monday Night Football, I have to believe, is just a coincidence. But it's there and it's a factor. But they don't play on Monday nights in the playoffs. So he's had a very good year in so many ways. How confident are you in him now? They will be a wild card going into this postseason.
Yeah, the biggest worry about Kirk Cousins is he's going to have one of those stinker games because sometimes he stinks at. He just has this game where you're like, wait, did you show up? He's had a really good year. He's had a good career. And he has stretches of really high-end football play. If you're a Vikings fan, your big concern is I hope Kirk Cousins doesn't just have one of those games in the playoffs where you go, he just has this game occasionally where and his bad is, my goodness, we can't do anything on offense bad.
Dan, I'll say it like this. Kirk Cousins is an enigma. When I was on the Eagles, we prepped for him several times. He was on the Skins. You talk about quarterbacks in two ways. They scare you or they don't. Kirk Cousins, you look at, you know he can put up numbers. You know he can make the great throws. But in meetings during the week, on Wednesday and Thursday, those real pivotal meetings, he's just not a guy that scares you, especially come playoff time. He's not in that category where you say, I'm worried about him. You're thinking he's going to have that stinker game against me.
Maybe last night was an example of just how incredibly important Dalvin Cook is to that offense. Yep. He's had an enormous year. And again, no Dalvin Cook last night. They had 7 first downs at home in a game that meant a lot. First and foremost on the Packers, Rodgers doesn't throw a touchdown last night, still doesn't look like the Aaron Rodgers we've been accustomed to seeing over the years, but more than good enough yesterday. How good are these 12-3 Green Bay Packers?
I think the Packers are really good. Yesterday, he didn't throw a touchdown pass, but I don't think it was a fault of his own. To Dan's point, all-pro receiver Davante Adams dropped one, down 10-3. Running back Aaron Jones, he drops one. What's so intriguing to me is, Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. Dan, now you kind of blame it on, he missed some throws. Whereas I look at it, you educated me. Now I'm like, let me give him the benefit of the doubt. The receivers were dropping passes. I'm still worried about Aaron Rodgers. I'm still scared of Aaron Rodgers. When I say worried, from a defensive perspective, Greeny.
Yeah, I agree. There's just been some near misses to this football team, and everyone's had their hand in it. Aaron Rodgers is playing good football. Now, those receivers have let him down. Sometimes they don't see it the same way as him. That's what's scary about the Packers, is they're a 12-3 football team. They've beaten a bunch of really good teams. And if these near misses become plays that they make in the playoffs, this team's going to be brutal to beat because we've got to start looking at this team in a different lens. We are so used to seeing Aaron Rodgers carry the football team and do everything by himself that we never saw some of these plays that we're seeing. We very rarely have saw drops. We've seen misses. And now we're starting to see that the Packers aren't the Packers from 2010. They don't need to be the Packers that Aaron Rodgers has to carry, and they have to score 40. They're a really complete, sound football team. They're well coached. They can run the football. They have a very good offensive line. They have a defensive line that can get after the quarterback, and they can cover. We've never said that about the Packers. We haven't in a long time said that about the Packers. We have to adjust the way that we look at the Packers in our expectation to how they're going to play football.
You mentioned the defense, and I feel like a few times this year, Aaron Rodgers in his post-game interview has credited the defense with these wins. How good is this defense when you look at what they could do in the postseason?
When you look at last night, elite.
Yeah.
And because a defense is elite to me based on two things. Can you rush the quarterback first and foremost? And then if you can't rush the quarterback, can the back end hold up long enough for the pass rush to get there eventually? Man, that bad boy, them Smith brothers, not actually brothers, but they were eating on that front. So if the defensive line is playing like that, Greeny, I'm not so concerned with Aaron Rodgers because Kirk Cousins was not good yesterday. We get it. But you know how hard it is to play good when you are running for your life?
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, highlights, and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.